Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing Azorius Affinity. Azorius meaning blue and white. As you can see, there's a lot of blue and white cards in there. And Affinity meaning gets better with more artifacts in play. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, next in line to the emperorship of San Francisco, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Untapped GG. I went to the tier list, and I was scrolling down until I found something that looked relatively new towards the top of the list, and I fell onto Azorius Affinity. Now, there's not a whole bunch of new cards in here. I mean, I think Elspeth is a new card in here. Everything else looks relatively old. But yeah, it wasn't exactly what I remembered. It seemed a little different. It seemed like it was a little bit of a mix-up over the last Azorius Affinity deck I might have played. So I thought, yeah, great, let's go for it. Let's try this one out. And I had good responses at first, so let's just hope we can keep that up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards that are in this deck. We're going to talk a little bit how this thing should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here? We got a dude that, when it comes into play, you put out a token. Do that you can tap 3 of your things and it gets a popo counter. As long as it has 3 or more popo or counters of some sort on it, it gets flying and vigilance, which is cool. Spell Pierce, counterspell. I hate them, but it's in here. This guy puts out a token. This guy becomes a copy of yours or somebody else's creatures, as long as you got the mana to copy it. Doesn't have to be the color, just has to be the amount. And then it's flying. So that's cool. Regal Bunnicorn is equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. Not creatures, but non-land permanents. This thing's a super lord. Like a Keldon warlord there. Let's see. Shelter by Ghosts is probably the best, my favorite control card in the metaverse at the moment. What does this do? It exiles a target non-land permanent. And it gives your dude Ward 2 and +1/+0 and lifelink, which is just pure value. I can't believe they give you that for 2 mana, right? Zoetic Glyph turns one of these little tiny token things into a 5/4. If it were to die, as in the enchantment goes into the graveyard, then from the battlefield, you get to discover 3, which would be anything from this guy to the left. You get to pull something off the top of your library. All right, Phyrexian Vindicator costs you 4 white to put out, which we got a bunch of duels to handle that. But once he gets out, he's flying 5/5, and if damage would be dealt to it, you prevent it. So, and then when the damage is prevented this way, your creature deals that much damage to any other target. He is, the other, like the Phyrexian Vindicator and the Phyrexian Obliterator are just nasty pieces of work. And yeah, this guy is great as a defender. You know, they could be, there's a lot of ways to get rid of them, but not damage. That's not going to happen. So if you go up against a red deck, this guy will pretty much make them cry. All right, we got Leyline Axe. If you get it in your opening hand, you get to put it right onto the battlefield for free. Other than that, it's equipment, and when you put it on something, it gets a popo, and has double strike and trample. Put it on like Phyrexian Vindicator, that would be fantastic. Elspeth. If 1 or more tokens be created, you create twice those mini tokens instead. And if for a +1, you get to create a soldier token, which means you'll be creating 2 soldier tokens. For 0, you can put a popo counter on each creature you control, and they all gain flying until your next turn. That is a win condition right there, potentially. That potentially could win it if you got enough dudes out. And for -3, you can destroy a target creature an opponent controls with a mana value of 3 or greater. So it takes out the big stuff. Dragons, whatever, just not the little stuff. Steel Seraph. You can pay 3 to put it out, or 6. If you put it out for 3, it's a 3/3. If it's 6, then you get a 5/4. At the beginning of combat, you could, in a target creature of your choice, gains flying, vigilance, or lifelink until the end of turn. So it's a great utility card, puts a lot of stuff out. All right, other than that, we got a nice collection of lands. I think we got a man land in here. There you go. Just 2 of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to get little dudes out first. We're going to try to grind them down with little grinds, get out our tokens, so that hopefully we can start using Zoetic Glyphs to make 5/4s. We can use the Shelter by Ghost to start stealing their dudes. Bunnicorn's going to get huge. You put a Leyline Axe on something, they give things trample +1 and double strike, you pretty much win the game. All right, so that's it. That's what we're going to do. Now, before we go out, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shouldered, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Zerothren. Beep, beep, beep. Keep. I'm not a counterspell guy. All right, generate that artifact we need so we can Zoetic Glyph it in a little bit. Pull up a 4th white mana. That'd be fantastic too. Don't care. I don't care. You're not the boss of me. Yoink, and in for 5. I got nothing to keep my dudes alive with. I need this to be white, not blue. See you later. At least I get Discover 3 out of the deal. Welcome to the battlefield, Bunnicorn. White. What does this happen at the end here? You discard a card, target creature coming from your graveyard to your hand. Yoink. All right, let's be prepared to spell Pierce. All right, I'm cool, man. Whatever. Non-creatures, I can't do those. All right, that's fine. And we win! Suck it! Suckerfish! Rank up! Up and against Tweed. Two mana. Oh, interesting. Keep. Yeah, jump it out. Let's drop it. There we go. Big die. We don't have enough to get out the... We can't put this guy on him for a while. I'd get rid of Shelter by Ghost if I were you. All right, well, good for you, man. We got another. Let's slam it down like Chinatown. All right, we got Shelter by Ghost as our big next card. Looks like we don't have to worry about it. Let's just pop it up. Pop. All right, 4 mana for the next Leyline. Legendary? Nope. Don't really need it, do I? All right, cool. That's 6. Let's see what we can do with this. All right, it's down to 4. I mean, that's our kill condition for the next turn. And we win. He did not have the answer. Victory. All right, then against LeonChris. This thing is coming out all the time. That's a leyline for you. What's this guy playing? Is he even here? There we go. Black. Oh, super. All right, so I can go forward with what I got to make this come out before the fourth turn. It's slow. This is a card I don't care for. What are you doing, my friend? That's he just forces an exile. Okay. This guy's playing black discard. I don't like it. No. Oh, dang it. That's exactly what I wanted. What a jerk. I'm just going to beat him down hard at this point. Is what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, block. Block it with your bat. Down to 11. All right, feel free to chump in front. Chump! He's got more than enough to kill off that Shelter by Ghost. That's a problem. He's going to take Zoetic Glyph back. Sweet googly people. All right, Novice Inspector, you're doing what you can do. One or twin powers, activate. Oh, we whiffed out on a land. That sucks. Double strike is great, but I get a Popo counter on there. Yeah, these lands are not great for me at the moment. Nice. So now I don't have any artifacts to artifact up with. He's not doing too good. He's got to take out the Inspector at this point. Otherwise he'll have to chump. And there's both of them. Ah, it's not great, man. Alright, he's got to block. And one more. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. Suck it. Victory. We're against Yossi 79. 2 mana. All right, we got a lot we can do too. Leyline's going to come straight out. Keep. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Now, what kind of black deck is he playing? Discard, creature kill. Is he going to put out the Terminator that takes half my life? It's a rabbit. Get him. All right, there we go. Why is the Bunnicorn so big? Oh, it's equal to the number of non-land permanents? Yeah, that's how. I'm going to shelter some ghosts here is what I'm going to do. All right, apparently I don't need to shelter some ghosts. And we can just win straight up like that. Suck it! Hey, we're playing against Whipham. Good night. Good day there, Whipham. Keep. Looks like this mouse is on the toilet. The rock toilet. That's why you need to be holographic like Qbert here. She doesn't have any bodily functions. I won! Target creature. That's all you can do is take out a creature with it. Alright, so we're at 3. Let's just do this. This would be totally cool. You're not going to sneak in and kill the poor Bunnicorn, are you? Don't be a dirk. Oh. Alright, we got white. Vindicator. Problem is that black can take out the Vindicator. Does he have anybody that's worth worrying about here? What's that cost? 3? I can't steal that guy. Let's put this person out. That's fine. All right, that's our future. I get to try to... hope I can do this as a non-sorcery. Nope, I can only activate it as a sorcery. All right, I was dumb. Want to kill one of my guys? You can try it. Now what? All right, let's crack this thing open. He's keeping them. That's just the devil, isn't it? All right, Vindicator! Either has the answer to it or he doesn't. All right, cool. I need that 5th one. Now that I got rid of him, I get that. All right, that's fantastic. All right, we're cool. Let's just chill. Using the Vindicator as a defender. You give something protection, one thing protection from white. Yeah, do it, man. I mean, I'm probably toast anyway. He's got way too much stuff out. Let's create some more bodies. No attacks. All right, you want to come at me, man? There's no... It's 7 points right there. That's a big problem. Yep, that was a problem. All right, up and against Paulie, Chumpis. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, this is a nice little curve right here. Zoetic Glyph this thing on turn 3 would be great. Got something instant to play. And pop. It's funny, I'm not a big fan of Warden in the Sky. You gotta put way too much into it. Things I've had my ass kicked by him a bunch. But having to spend a lot of time trying to get this guy pumped, always feels like just a waste of time. Woohoo! Get him! There we go. If he pops the Zoetic Glyph, at least I get a Discover out of the deal. He's playing mono red. What is going on? Where are his cards? He's playing some sort of like mono red dragon or something? Knock on wood. See, that's not craters, man. That's a dinosaur footprint. Mm-hmm. You could probably shoot it. That might be a good idea. Nope, he's just gone. He's just gone. Victory! All right, we're playing against Ponel 808. Ponel. I thought it was probably like Pono or something like that, but there's an L there. Keep. Yeah, man. Smack. I'm hoping we can pick up some better mantling. This guy's coming out slow. Still, I could play the Spyglass on the next turn. Get up to 3, we can turn this into a nice Zoetic Glyph. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Cancel, I don't want that. Just pop him back. I want to put out the Spyglass. He's my boy, Blue. I can't block his guy. He was playing rooms, huh? All right, cool. All in. We got to get this Leyline Axe going here. We got a lot of good things to do. I just kind of felt like his little dude was a guy. No, that's not good. I will eat your soul. They start beating him upside the head. Trying to get a bunch of rooms going. You can't block. My best thing would be to put the axe on the Zoetic Glyph. You're trying really hard, man. To a guy an opponent controls. Okay, I can get another 5 out right now. Win the game. Let's just do that. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Goes the room. And victory. All right, here we are at the Azorius Affinity. And yeah, it was a good deck. It was a really good deck. Very competitive. You know, we picked it up off of the B list or whatever, and it did very well. It was a fantastic little deck. I liked it quite a bit. I mean, what can I talk about? The thing is when it said Affinity, and I just remember when, God, what was it called? Mirrodin came out like a billion years ago. We got Affinity for the first time. Man, I loved Affinity. Affinity was great. And, you know, we don't really have that much Affinity coming on nowadays. But it harkens back to the olden age when you were playing with a lot of artifacts. And artifacts got really cheap if you had other artifacts out. So altogether, I was a big fan of that. And it's good. Big time good. All right, so let's get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? That's interesting because I'm looking back now upon how I played it. I can tell you, Phyrexian Vindicator was fantastic. But he cost a lot. And it's all white. That was good. I think Zoetic Glyph is fantastic. I'm going to give it to Zoetic Glyph. I kind of felt like that was my ace in the hole. The fact that you can just, you know, get a bunch of these little token guys out, little tokens from your early game guys, the Inspector and the Spyglass Siren, and then turn 3, start turning them into 5/4s, essentially with haste. And if they get killed, they get Discover 3, which will bring back for like Bunnicorns and Shelter by Ghosts and a bunch of other guys. Yeah, man, Zoetic Glyph has just got so much value to it. Plus, the art is kick-ass. So I'm going to give it to, it's probably not the first time I've done this either. I'm going to give the MVP to Zoetic Glyph. Congratulations, weird water guy with a compass for an eyeball. You are going to Disneyland. All right, let's get to it. Was this deck competitive? Yep, it was. Did I pick it up off a list of competitive decks? Yes, I did. Did I feel it was competitive? Yes. What was my rate? I got a 75% out of this thing. So yeah, I think it's a competitive deck. Did I think it did well on the ladder? Yes, I did. So once again, this is a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yes. Why? Because it was aggro. When you play Azorius, a lot of times you do not get aggro out of it. But look at that. That number 1 is just, that's dumping. That is where we're playing at. It's in the number 1 position. And then number 2, also huge. Do I need to have 4 and 5? It's okay. You don't necessarily. These are good cards. Leyline Axe, I kept getting this thing out in my hand. Putting out straight, it really only cost me 3. This deck was rocking for 3 or less. That's what made this deck so fun, is because it was a great aggro deck. The fact that it had a lot of good flyers in it made it great because it made it hard for people to block. We could definitely grind people down early, and by mid-game, we were hitting it with 5s. It was a great deck, and we had a little bit of control. Perfect. All right, lastly, was this deck interesting? Well, to me, it was interesting just because it used the word Affinity in there. We saw the Zoetic Glyph. It wasn't as focused on artifacts as I kind of expected it to, but it was enough. I think I Zoetic Glyphed a Leyline Axe at one point, right? Sure, it would have given one of my other guys a double strike, but I wanted to spread the wealth just to make sure that I can get, enough damage through. So, yeah, it was really cool. I'm kind of surprised. I don't see many people playing this deck. It's on the list. It's getting played a bunch. It's not being played against me. So I thought this was an interesting deck. I thought it was really good. If anything I'm disappointed in is that there's not more stuff from Dragonstorm. We do have Elspeth in there. But the only thing she's going to do is she's going to create, multiple artifacts that we could potentially Zoetic Glyph? Sure. But we don't have that many attacking creatures to do tokens with or anything. She doesn't seem like she really fits this deck that well. but she is a great planeswalker, so she fits well enough. All right, let's get to it. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Totes. All right, so that makes this into an A+ deck. A+. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.